on so that I can get stuff synchronized. We're going to wait to plug in the cockpit audio so I can yell clear. And that is going to be my sync signal for all of the cameras. And then I'll plug in the cockpit audio here and hopefully get that right and insert it all the way so that we at least get radio calls and ATC and all that fun stuff if we decide to use it. So let's go ahead and Sunday night, just kind of getting out. Next week's going to be kind of a zoo, and so just thought I'd get out and do an hour of flying or so. We've got about an hour and 8 minutes on full tanks right now, and so we'll probably go out for another hour and putz around. Not very windy tonight. Sun's going down. It is 6:45 on a Sunday night. So we are all primed. Mixture is in all the way. Starter's off. Master is on. And we're going to yell, clear!
And hopefully we've got audio on the cameras. If we don't have audio on the cameras, I'll be highly disappointed because I've been trying to get everything synced up for at least a week now. And it seems that every time we do something, something happens with audio and things don't work, and it just sucks to be able to have this epic flight and no audio. So gonna squelch that one down a little bit. Vents are open. And we're gonna go ahead and turn on the Stratus. Get that situated on my brain. And it's finding stuff that it needs to do. We'll go ahead and see if we've got Stratus Network up. We do. Had to do 21 updates earlier today. So, did that on the map. We'll clear our flight plan. And should start receiving data. That GPS. So we'll go ahead and listen to the AWAS.
System test. Temporarily inoperative.
Oh, nice.
Tracy Municipal Airport. Automated weather observing system test. Temporarily inoperative.
Gotta love it. So field elevation here is right around 200 feet.
Observing system test. Temporarily inoperative.
So we're just going to go ahead and set the altitude indicator to 200 feet. Recycle the autopilot because it was telling me to trim down and we're not doing anything. We'll drive out here, or taxi out here, and see what the windsocks are doing. I don't know how it is that flies always find their way into a cockpit. It is just one of those phenomenon things that it's like, wait a minute, how do they do this? And then they bug you the whole frickin' flight. Alright, we're going to go ahead and turn up some lights on some things so that we don't have to later. We're good there. So we got about a half a windsock blowing, maybe 10 to 12 knots down the runway, depending on which way you're looking. I don't know, it's one of those that it's like, could be coming down 2.6, could be coming down 3.0, but the wind's not that bad. We'll go ahead and taxi down and use 3.0. Both radios are active. Got our mixture pulled out, so we're not going to foul while we're taxiing. Check all of our audio connections again. Those should all be good. GPS is up. We don't have any ADS. Well, we do have ADS-B traffic already. A FedEx flight is kind of over the top of the airport. Heading into the Bay Area at 12,000 feet. So we'll go up, see how the wind is, see how the bumps are, fly around for a little bit. And enjoy. So we got our checklist. I know this camera, I got to get something stuffed into this light that it's mounted on so that it doesn't jiggle. Once we get in the air, it seems to be okay, but getting the camera stabilized is sometimes a wee bit of a challenge. So it looks like we might have a little bit of a crosswind to us, so we'll see. All right, parking brakes are set, cabin doors, windows, and locked. We've got new door seals and window seals, so that's all absolutely wonderful, and that's one of the other things we're going to kind of check and see. Trim is set for takeoff, flight controls. Elevator up, elevator down, aileron right, aileron left. Cycle through that a couple of times and feels good. Rudder left, rudder right, all good. We got our lights all on. Mixture is going to go full rich. Fuel selector is on both. Throttle to 1700 RPM. And mag 1. Good. Mag 2. Good. Carb heat. Good. Suction is at 5. We are showing a little bit of a charging on positive, and fuel gauges still look good. Oil pressure is absolutely wonderful. So oil temperature is coming up. We'll go ahead and let it warm up just a little bit more. Radios are set. Like I said, all of our lights and beacons are on. Friction transponder is going to be set to altitude here, so we'll go altitude. Button, and now we're reporting altitude, and we're going to go ahead and start the timer again to keep on this tank of gas. And fire up this other little GoPro that I can carry in my hand. So we've got 5 GoPros on the plane. We've been having a problem with this one here. Me getting audio to record on the thing, and I'm hoping, I was down at the airport earlier and hoping that we've got all this resolved now and should be good. So one of the things you can see here is on our diagram, you can see where we're at on the runway, and then we zoom out and you can start seeing on ForeFlight all of the traffic information and everything that it gives us. And then this is just the instrument panel that we have, and GPS. We'll go ahead and put the map on that. We'll kind of zoom in here and get rid of the display, but that's basically inside, looking at under the camera, and then we got the camera up here, and then we got the Stratus ESG, and then our Narco 810 pluses. Okay, oil temp is coming up. We're going to squelch this a little bit. Flaps are up. Everything's good. Tracy traffic, Cessna 1191 Mike is taking 30. Going to be a left downwind departure off of 30, Tracy traffic. So the audio off the iPad is telling us that we just approached the runway. We got 3,900 feet remaining. We'll get our DG lined up here real quick before we take off. On to 30. And we are on the roll. Tracy traffic, Cessna 1191 Mike's on the roll. 30, left close traffic, Tracy. And here we go. So airspeed's coming alive. There's 60. And we'll pull back just a little bit. And there's that stupid fly. We're going to pull this down a wee so we can see. And there's a little bit of wind, a little bit of crosswind. Everything's looking good. Temperatures are coming up. Climbing through 400 feet, 200 feet AGL. Tracy traffic, Cessna 1191 Mike is left crosswind off of 30, Tracy. So hopefully everybody can hear me this time as we are climbing out here, going through 700. Nice evening here on the, I believe it's the 9th of September. Tracy traffic, Cessna 1191 Mike's into the downwind for 30 Tracy, and we're going to be departing the area to the southeast, Tracy traffic. We'll pull back on the throttle a little bit since we don't have a mission or anything to go to. Just kind of see what is going on here. Get this to track in the right direction that we're going. A little bit of wind because I can see one of the power windmills at the rock quarry down there spinning, so you know we've got a little bit. And then let's see here. No flight plan. Let's go here. There we go. Out of the flight plan mode. So we're 114 knots, and we're saying 100 on the airspeed indicator, so we've got a pretty good tailwind, 1,230 feet, and that about aligns with what the altimeter is showing us as well. So we're not facing the sun anymore. We'll pull that visor up, get bounced around here a little bit. As we are a rusty old fart flying a plane. So, like I said, all 5 GoPros are on. Number 6 here in the seat that we can pull up when we need it and start it. We did a nice little flight the other day out that direction. Over the hills, and might try to do that again, but that was in the morning when it wasn't very windy, so it may bounce us around a little bit trying to do that again. But we're at 1,200 feet, which is about 1,000 feet AGL, and just kind of a nice night. Watching all the traffic off of a weekend coming back. Highway 5 out there, Highway 580 off to that way, and that's why they call this kind of the golden, not the golden triangle. back inside the triangle. You can take that however you want. So we're getting pushed now. I can feel it. Butting along here. Got 2200 RPM, 112 knots, ground speed. So the other day I was out and tried the GPS out for doing an RNAV approach, and I've never, I am instrument rated, I'm just not current, and ended up dialing in the runway 30 RNAV approach, and man, you know, from doing VOR approaches and things and NDB approaches back in the day when I first started flying in 2001, 2002, and getting that, I'm like, holy smokes, man, it's like, you know, it's like not quite flying an ILS, but it's the slickest thing. And with the autopilot, where it keeps you on course and all you have to worry about is the altitude as you are, you know, passing through the waypoints, man, it's just slick as can be. So looking forward to maybe as it gets later in the year here in the fall of getting back and getting current on my my instrument training and rating again. So looking forward to that. We're doing 115 knots now, about 105 indicated, so we got a pretty good tailwind. We'll pull this back a little bit. We're heading directly towards the Modesto airport. You can kind of see Modesto out there. So what we're going to end up doing is probably just turning here and flying around the valley. We might end up setting it back up to do a that RNAV approach again and show you what that's all about. Because it is pretty stinking slick. We'll get 2385 in and 2510 dialed in, which is the local NorCal. Just so we can listen in on traffic. Put them on both.
5333 November Charlie, NorCal approach cleared, direct McClellan, Stockton altimeter 29er 79er.
It sounds like both of them going. So hopefully we've got audio going here. Just double checking this again. We're plugged in all the way.
Number 2524 Victor, it'd be helpful if you tell me where you are now.
We had a pretty epic flight the other morning, and I guess I didn't get it plugged in all the way and didn't get any audio at all for the narrative of what we were doing. And I was quite bummed. But
November 24 Victor, Roger.
we just replaced the door seals ourselves. We replaced the window seal. We replaced the baggage seal. 2 new antennas put on, and then upgraded the radios from just the standard 810, Narco 810s that we had into the 810 pluses, which have the memory in them so that we can turn them off and they'll remember the last frequency that is. Plus, they also have the ability to have up to 10 memories in them that you can toggle to the right side and dial in the memory and then toggle it back and switch it over.
November 24 Victor, radar contact, Modesto altimeter 2979er.
We're going to go ahead and turn.
November 24 Victor, radar contact.
Little bit of wind.
November 24 Victor, contact approach 124.8. 124.8. November 1 Mike Zulu, contact approach 127.4.
0.74, 1 Mike Zulu, good day.
Great. November 3 Bravo Echo, change to my frequency 125.1.
So it sounds like that controller's working multiple sectors. So it looks like we're over the top of Highway 33 right now, flying parallel to it. And it's about 713.
733 Bravo Echo 4500.
Cessna 733 Bravo Echo NorCal approach. Thank you. Livermore altimeter 29er84.
2984, 733 Bravo Echo.
November 21 Tango Bravo. Fly heading 290 vector for the approach.
So we can see who's got
November 21 Tango Bravo.
80 SB, we've got tail numbers here, and kind of who is just on standard transponders.
The primary frequency I use isn't working right now, so I'm not sure how low I can talk to you on my alternate frequency. At about 4,000 please, and I'll have a frequency change to a better frequency in a few more miles. November 84 X-ray contact approach 127.4.
127.4, you don't want 125.25?
Yeah, they're all combined up. There's one guy working both of those sectors over there, so they're using 27.4.
127.4, thanks. Take 4 extra.
See, shorthanded. I'm sure all budget issues.
330 NorCal.
And another 5 or 10 minutes and the sun is going to be behind the hills.
Boutique 330, squawk 3270. Boutique 330, radar contact 3 miles southeast of the Merced Airport. The Castle altimeter 2980.
So turn the headset volume down here and turn the radios up a little bit.
Via direct Clovis, as filed. Expect flight level 210. For now, climb and maintain 9,000.
Trim down. Autopilot.
T330, thank you. Read back correct. And I'm not sure if you're aware, but we had a frequency go out, so that's why you weren't able to get us on the ground.
Bummer. Radios blew up.
And the T330, climb and maintain flight level 190. The T330, climb and maintain flight level 190.
Ooh, my phone is connected as well. That's scary. So with this and the upgrades and everything, I kind of wanted to feel around, close these vents. I want to feel around the doors. So there's no air coming. A little bit around the window here, but the door is nothing. Yeah, a little bit there. But with the new door seals, we got everything sealed up really tight, which is kind of sweet.
NorCal, Purple Z, November Charlie, is Skydive California hot? No, not right now. They're done jumping for the day. Thank you.
So we'll get some air back in here. It looks like the sun's about ready to go down, and where we're at, we're still okay with where it is in our vision.
Approach coming 28302, 6,500.
Coming 28302, NorCal approach. The Stockton altimeter 2979er.
2979, thank you.
So we're going to change over to Tracy advisory frequency here to their CTAF just to listen in as we kind of are around Tracy. We're about 5 miles out from the airport according to the distance rings, and as we get closer, because where the sun is where all the wind comes over the mountains, we're going to go ahead and disconnect the autopilot. I'm going to just hand fly it now. Go see how traffic is out on the freeway. It is 80 degrees up here right now. .91 knots. I can see us being pushed. So we'll do a little bit of a crab here. All of our temperatures are still looking good. Doing about 2,300 RPM.
21.25.
We're back to 2,200. Slow us down.
November 76 Quebec, descend and maintain 4,000.
4,000, 7 Quebec.
Plane 2,800 feet above us, about 4 miles out that way. One straight ahead of us, 1,900 feet above us.
November 21 Tango Bravo, change to my frequency 125.1.
Everybody's on 25.1. Traffic looks okay on a weekend. People coming back into the Bay Area from
NorCal,
points east.
Tango Bravo with you at 4,000.
November 21 Tango Bravo, NorCal approach, thank you.
There's one 2,900 feet above us passing over, but he's a couple of miles back, so no factor. Wish I could open the window, but we won't. I know people do. But here we are flying, and like I've said in some of my other videos, if you want to do it, do it. There's just nothing that beats it. Yeah, sometimes it can be a little hairy flying in wind and weather and things like that. But gosh, there's just nothing that gets you separated and into a three-dimensional space and just up over the top of everything that gives you just kind of a whole new perspective. It's pretty cool. I started flying, I think, around 2000 from a birthday gift from my daughter that she got everybody to pull together and give me all the ground school materials. And hesitated for about a year till I got into it and finally got to the point where it's like, damn it, I'm doing this. And got into the ground school and got through that and started flying, and holy smokes, I was hooked. Got my private and ended up getting the bug and bought a plane and got my instrument rating and replaced the engine in the plane, replaced the interior, did all that myself, and really had quite a nice 1977 172. And in 2003, life changed and had to end up selling it. Won't get into the personal reasons and stuff, but you know how that goes. And got out of it, got back in, did a few rentals and things, and did some things different. Started another business, a sound company, and got into contracting and do a little bit of that in addition to my consultant day job that I have. And opportunity came along that it's like, well, I think I'm going to do this again. And was looking at aircraft and didn't have anything here locally within the city or the state that I could, was really looking at. And found this plane, and I think I've explained, through that there was a unfortunate event where the gentleman passed away in a hangar fire working on somebody else's plane. But the opportunity for this came up, and I grabbed it, and I'm glad I did. And this has just been one sweet ride. So with the GPS, it can do RNAV, non-precision approaches. It's got it for ILS, VOR. It's got the new Stratus 2020 compliant transponder in it. Decent radios. 4,000. 500 and some hours on the engine. Absolutely awesome. Tracy traffic, Cessna 1191 Mike is over the downtown, 1,000 feet, orbiting Tracy traffic. Get this wind on us a little bit, or air to kind of cool us down, because it is pretty warm up here. I think it might be cool. Approach over there.
Tango Bravo, Roger, out to police, send me the approaches.
Tracy traffic, Cessna 1191 Mike is directly over the field, 1,000 feet, going to be entering the downwind for 26, Tracy traffic. So we did a little bit of orbiting over some friends' houses. Turn the runway lights on. Tracy traffic, Cessna 1191 Mike is going into the downwind for left traffic 26 Tracy. So we'll go ahead and slow her down here a little bit and pull some carb heat on. Temperatures are all looking good. Trim up.
Tracy traffic 16 Whiskey is crossing runway 30 at Delta.
Go ahead and nail in the first notch of flaps. And we'll pull some power back so we start going down. So 1,700 RPM, trim. Tracy traffic, Cessna 1191 Mike is left base 26 Tracy. And we'll go ahead and nail in 20 degrees of flaps because I think we've got a wind coming. And we don't want to do much more than that. Tracy traffic, Cessna 1191 Mike is final for 26 Tracy traffic. This will be a full stop.
Bay after Tracy, 8685.
1191 Mike's on about a half-mile final for 26, Tracy. And we're going to slow it down even more. A little bit of a crosswind here, but take your pick on what the wind's doing.
Tracy traffic 885 is holding short runway 30 for departure. I'll wait till the traffic lands. 26, just let me know when you're clear.
Will do. Give me about 20 seconds.
SoCal Baron 2070 wind has Modesto in sight.
Tracy traffic. Cessna 1191 Mike is clear 26 on taxiway Bravo.
Tracy traffic, Scout 8685, departing runway 30, straight out Tracy traffic.
Oh, it's almost favoring 6. Oh, constant speed prop. You can hear it. So I think what we're going to do now is I think we'll go back out and get set up to fly the RNAV approach. Probably not go up to the altitude, probably stay at 1,000 feet, but at least be able to get you to see. We'll fire up the other little camera and show the overlay of the approach plate for that on ForeFlight and how it tracks to the GPS for the RNAV 30 approach. And then probably do a couple of more landings for our night currency. So let's look at our headings here. Stopped. Let the compass settle a little bit, and it's on about a 100. We'll get that aligned on the D. Most of our gauges are lit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Altimeter's not, but we got a pretty good light on that. All the lights are on again. We're looking good. Tracy traffic, Cessna 1191 Mike's taking 30, going to be a left downwind departure for 30 Tracy traffic. Flaps are up.
Santa Grace, the last reported Dallas 21, Tango.
So this is the only bummer with cameras is that we don't get really good night resolution. So we'll see how it goes. Tracy traffic, Cessna 1191 Mike is on the roll for 30 Tracy, going to be a left downwind departure. Tracy traffic.
I'd like to switch frequencies to Livermore Tower and begin my descent. Today, thanks for your help, sir. 733 Bravo Echo.
And we got up pretty quick, probably because of the wind, and we're crabbing a little bit here.
Correction, 3 November Charlie, contact approach on 127.4.
127.4, 3 November Charlie, see you later.
Tracy traffic, Cessna 1191 Mike is left crosswind off of 30 Tracy.
Looks like you went to the VOR on approach first again. Are you picking it up?
NorCal 21 Tango Bravo, we're going to break off this approach and move on to stack exec.
21 Tango Bravo, roger. And are you climbing back up to 4,500?
Tracy traffic, Cessna 1191 Mike is into the left downwind off of 30 Tracy traffic, departing the area to the south, southeast.
Your largest question for 21 Tango Bravo.
Good evening, King Air 506, Mike Victor checking on with you out of 4,000. We're climbing VFR to 6,500 en route Oakland tonight.
506, Mike Victor, NorCal approach, try to contact 5 miles west of Modesto Airport. The stock now for 2980, advising you have information India at Oakland.
Roger, we'll advise India, 6 Mike Victor.
So, we'll fly down that way till we can pick up the, in fact, let's do this. And we'll scroll into the approaches and we'll hit the 30 here and orient us up. So you can kind of see, turn this other camera on, but you can kind of see that we're almost flying the outbound on it right now. And then we'll go ahead and get it entered into the GPS so we can see a track on the approach plate as well as track on the GPS. And then the only thing that we would have to do if it was a real approach is then monitor the different heights as far as the approach is concerned, down from 3,400 to 2,500 to 2,100 down to 1120 and then down to our MDA for the LNAV, which is going to be, I think, 443 feet. So, pretty stinking cool. So we'll just level her out here at 1,500, pull the power back, and fly us back till we can get that initial approach fix there.
And King Air 6 Mike Victor has India.
Air 6 Mike Victor, thank you.
And look at the cars on the freeway.
21 Tango Bravo, looks like you're heading northeast. Did you need a...
That is Highway 580, which branches off Highway 5.
We'll take it back here.
That brings all the traffic up from Southern California back into the Bay Area.
Roger, and Sacramento Executive, so just heading 315.
315 for 21 Tango Bravo, thank you.
We'll turn down NorCal a little bit here. So we got traffic above us quite a bit and going into the Bay Area, but nothing that I can see that we are going to have to be kind of concerned with. So we'll probably end up flying down almost I think to Patterson is where it is, where we've got to be able to do a loop around here to get into the approach fix. But that is those lights right out there, which is Amazon and the warehouses and everything out there. So we are doing 110 knots and 100 knots indicated. And there's a little bit of wind this evening. Sometimes the sun goes down and then it just dies down, and sometimes it will have calm surface winds and get up, and it's anything but calm as we're flying around the hills here. So it's telling us that our outbound is 117, so we're kind of on that right now. And our inbound is 297. I invited someone to go flying with me this evening, but I texted her and I didn't get an answer back. I'm hurt. So, not so sure she'd enjoy getting bounced around a little bit, but she does love to fly. So I'm going to go ahead and hide this approach plate. Oops. Come on. Until we get out past Patterson and I get her turned around. Then I'm going to dim this down a little bit. Display and brightness because we are full on bright. And there we go. Flying reminds me of the days that I flew down and doing a project down in the Carlsbad area, a little project called Legoland, and designed all of their IT infrastructure and telephone and security and parkway paging and all sorts of camera systems and everything. And that was back in 2002, 2003 that we did that. And many trips down over the Grapevine into Southern California. And then flying back at night because I only had a NDB radio, AM radio, that listening to talk shows and things like that for 3.5 hours. But it was cool to be able to fly over the top of the LA Basin and watch all the traffic lights, being thankful that you were not, or the traffic tail lights on the freeway, that you were not in that mess. So never had really any weather encounters or anything like that over the Grapevine with wind or anything like that. So really was kind of blessed in all those flights that I went down there. Left early in the morning, did some stuff down in Redlands, projects down there, and got to fly down to Redlands, and down to Van Nuys, to Burbank, and once in Santa Monica. So what we're going to do is go direct and go ahead and get Tracy, whoops, small knob. Enter. And then we'll do flight plan, direct to Tracy. So it's asking us to load an approach, and what we're going to do is select the RNAV 3 30 with NAPI as the initial approach fix. And we'll hit enter. And press enter to enable the approach. And we'll set that enter. And what we're going to do now is call up that approach plate. And approach is 4, and move that to the map. So we're over Patterson now. And I'm going to end up doing a little bit of a turn here.
SoCal approach Skyline 91592 just off of Byron. VFR to Camarillo. Request flight following, please.
Is that 91522 to Mike Charlie Alpha? Correction, Charlie Mike Alpha?
91592.
91592 NorCal approach, roger. Stand by for beacon code. What's the type of aircraft?
So we are Cessna 182/Alpha.
Roger.
Pretty lights out there on somebody's ranch, farm. And so now you can kind of see us. We get this other camera out here. Kind of see us circling back around, and we are going to pick up NAPI. And what I'm going to do is turn on the autopilot here to low track down there, and direct to NAPI, 0.2 of a nautical mile, initial approach fix. And now it's showing us on the map. We'll zoom in a little bit. Go back to the map. We'll turn it on high track.
3315.
And then we'll do altitude hold. So it will come back around. It's off a little bit here, as you can see. Let's do low track. And it's set.
592, verify squawking 3315. What's your position?
We're squawking 3315, and we are
Maybe we did.
north of Tracy, looks like.
Roger, I have a primary target about 2 miles northwest of Tracy Airport, but I'm not picking up your mode. See if that's you.
All right, let me recycle it.
So it's showing that we are not into the approach. So let's go to flight plan, direct to NAPI, enter. There we go. See, but it's showing us off quite a bit, so hopefully it'll pick that up.
3,600, 592.
So we are turning, but not like I would hope we would.
3 Charlie Charlie NorCal approach, roger, talk now.
So we're going to go and engage that again.
Number 2980. 592, picking up your transponder now, and you are radar contact over to Tracy Airport, Fox Altimeter 2980. What's your altitude you're climbing up to?
2980, and we are through 4,000 for 9,500, 592.
592, roger, and taking your altitude, I'm showing you at 5,200.
So we unloaded the approach, and now we're going to hit select, load approach,
more than 200 feet, 300.
RNAV 30 with NAPI, enter, flight plan, enable approach. And we are active here, but what's our message? Said we should be on a 221 heading. So let's go ahead and
report leaving 6,500.
get on a 221 heading.
Report leaving 6,500, 592.
We'll see what she does now. So it says we're 4.1 nautical miles from NAPI. We'll see how that does for the initial approach fix, which it is kind of showing us that here as well. And we are at 1,300 feet. Now we're turning. Be interesting to see how this is going to execute. Especially in the dock. But it's like, I just need to get more familiar with that little puppy there and how it interacts with the autopilot here and see how it flies everything. It looks like it's starting to maybe turn us a little bit. We'll see, it may just blow through the track. I don't think it's got anything preemptive to tell us that it needs to start turning once that it gets close to that approach fix. So we'll see. We have hills in front of us, so it's like we're going to have to do something here pretty quick. Half a mile. Telling us we got a message coming up here and turn. So let's see what the autopilot does. So our next waypoint is Etiku. turning us. So you can see here, I don't know if this camera can see that, but it is giving us a turn.
And NorCal approach, Skyline.
And it shows we're off course here a little bit, and as we continue to turn, it keeps showing us further off course. But it is picking it up.
And who's that last call?
So now the approach plate is showing us our track to the airport. And it's a 297, so we'll track there. So it's going to go back and hit and try to pick that up again and then turn back on course. So it's got in the light here that we are on a approach course or approach on the GPS. It's showing us that we are off that direction. So this needle is starting to come back in.
Reaching 9,500 and contact approach on 124.8.
124.8 and report 9,500.
So it should be turning us back in here pretty quick once we blow through this track point. Really kind of crazy here what it's doing. It's like, oh, where are we going? Usually it's you get it lined up before you get onto the approach, but I just wanted to see how the autopilot is going to fly it. Did really good the other day. And if we were really on this, we would be up at 3,400 feet coming in after Nappy, and then down to 2,500 feet. So we're, quite a bit below what the approach recommends. Which I'm not sure I understand, because there ain't crap out here that you would ever have to run into. But now it is kind of getting us lined back up. For Etiku, the final approach fix. And we're not quite 10 miles out yet, so it's going back and trying to find that again. And I see the beacon, but I don't see the airport lights. We'll get a little bit closer before we turn them on.
Hello, NorCal South 4797 with you at 240, descending via the Oaks, and we have information India.
But as it sometimes does here in the evenings, it's gotten a little bit windier.
Southbound NorCal approach, say again your southbound.
Southwest 4797 with you at 240, descending via the Oaks to with India.
4797 NorCal approach, roger, runway 30 transition. You can expect the ILS for the visual approach.
Okay, 30 transition, we'll do it. South 4797.
3 Whiskey, traffic 1 to 12 o'clock, 3 miles southbound, altitude indicates 6,300.
We're going to go ahead and capture this again, and then re-engage the autopilot.
NorCal, Coast Guard 2709, with you 200.
Coast Guard 2709 or NorCal approach, roger, you can expect lower in 15 miles.
2709, sounds good.
Number 1 Tango Bravo, traffic 12 o'clock and 4 miles southeastbound, altitude indicates 3,900.
Okay, looking for traffic, 21 Tango Bravo. Approach Galaxy 415 Sierra Echo 133 to cross board at 10,000, Hayward Kilo.
415 Sierra Echo, NorCal approach, cross board out of below 10,000, descend to maintain 7,000, say approach request.
Board out or below 10,000 to maintain.
So it's showing our approach is active. almost at our final approach fix, which is Etiku. I see the beacon of the airport.
NorCal approach, Cessna
21 Tango Bravo, thank you. Contact approach on...
And there's our approach lights. And I can see the strobes.
127.4 for 21 Tango Bravo.
127.4, 21 Tango Bravo.
592 with the current altitude now. Roger.
Trace traffic, Cessna 1191 Mike is about 10 miles out to the south-southeast, inbound landing Tracy 1,300 feet.
Spear wing 695 out of 27.3 descending via the Oaks 2.
Spear wing 695 NorCal approach, runway 30 transition. You can expect the ILS or the visual approach.
Alright, 30 transition, we have Juliet, Spirit 695.
Roger.
So right now, once we pass Etiku, we would drop down to 1120.
Just advise them of the altitude leaving and when you're level at 900,500.
So we're going to go ahead and disconnect
3 Bravo
and hand fly this in like we're on the approach, and we're going to go down to 1120.
Bravo, radio check. 3 Bravo Whiskey, live and clear on me.
Trace traffic, Cessna 1191 Mike is on the practice RNAV 30 to the southeast, inbound 1,200 feet, Tracy traffic.
Delivery 3 Bravo Whiskey, radio check out here.
Eddie Bravo, Whiskey, left turn.
Thank you. Southwest 4797, maintain best forward speed for sequencing.
South forward speed, we'll do it. Southwest 4797.
So there's our 1120.
Number 5 Sierra Echo, contact approach 125.35 today.
And then Ikuko, you drop down to 400 and something feet. Tracy traffic, Cessna 1191 Mike is on a 3-mile final on the RNAV 30 approach. Tracy traffic.
Sending you the EMSO.
Southwest 5100, NorCal approach, runway 30 transition. You can expect the ILS approach.
We'll plan the ILS 30, Southwest 5100.
So we are on track. Better slow down a little bit here.
Postcard 2709, just had to maintain 14,000.
Down to 14,000.
Tracy traffic, Cessna 1191 Mike is about 2 miles on a final for 30, RNAV 30 approach. Tracy traffic. We're in the white arc, so 10 degrees of flaps, plus or minus 5, about 1,700 RPM, about for 500 AGL, about a 300 foot per minute sink rate, and the wind is blowing us pretty good.
Runway 30 transition, you can expect the ILS approach.
Bring the RPM up a little bit. pretty fun wind. Almost like real weather.
Services terminated. Squawk VFR, frequency change approved. Good day.
Squawk VFR,
Tracy traffic, Cessna 1191 Mike, 1 mile final. 30 full stop. A little bit more flaps.
3 Charlie, Roger, radar services. Actually, are you calling to terminate services now?
So this would be about our decision height somewhere in here, which would really be pretty good for an approach, because it sure beats the crap out of the old VOR approach that we used to use.
NorCal approach bearings 955, 213, descending via the M03.
Runway 955, NorCal approach, runway 30 transition. You can expect the ILS approach, reduce speed out to 260.
Forgot to mention, we're at 260 now, and we'll do the 30 transition. Expect the ILS bearings 955.
Thank you. Approach 4797, contact approach 125.35 today.
2535, have a good one, test 4797. knots, Spirit 695.
No weather veining allowed. And flaps are up. So that's one night landing. Taxiway Alpha. So what we're gonna do is taxi back to 26 because that's what it seems more like the wind is favoring.
NorCal approach 0173 Charlie Kilo 12500 with the numbers.
Tracy traffic, Cessna 1191 Mike is clear 30 Tracy.
NorCal, how's your evening there? Southwest 6706, we're 22 descending via the M03. Roger.
So I'd say it's night. That worked out pretty good with the approach. You know, the autopilot chases it a little bit, you know, especially when
All right, pull back.
you're so close.
6706.
Or at a 90-degree intercept. It'd probably been better if we would have ended up getting on the, you know, final approach course and then engaging the autopilot so it didn't have to snake back and forth. Wind probably didn't help a little bit, but
Good night, Southwest 5100.
alrighty, so we'll go do a couple more landings here on 26 and call it a night. So, been up for about an hour. Trace traffic, Cessna 1191 Mike is taking runway 26, left crows, traffic, touch and goes, Tracy.
Roger.
Tracy traffic, Cessna 1191 Mike's on the roll for left traffic, 26 Tracy.
Tracy traffic, Cessna 1191 Mike is into the left crosswind for 26 Tracy.
Spirit wing 695, clear fifth, cross fifth between 7 and 900,000 and descend to the arrival.
Check to fifth, cross fifth between 9.
Tracy traffic, Cessna 1191 Mike is into the downwind, left traffic 30 Tracy, or not 3026 Tracy.
Richard 149, NorCal approach, set to maintain 12,000, stock Nelson, receive 981. Richard 149.
It is a bumpy night. And we're at pattern altitude.
35 today.
2535 Southwest 29, good day.
We'll pull some carb heat in, trim up a little bit, and slow her down.
One down for another aircraft.
Trim up. You're in the white arc, so 1001, 1002, 1003, 10 degrees of flaps, trim nose down.
Runway 955, turn right heading 330, vectors 4 sequence to set to maintain 7,000.
Right to 330 to 7.
And we'll pull the power back to 17.
Approach big stripe 139 at 15,000, descending to 12,000.
Big stripe 149 to set to maintain 10,000.
Set to maintain 10,000, big stripe 149.
Tracy traffic, Cessna 1191 Mike is left base for 26 Tracy.
Runway 955, you can expect vectors 2 final.
We'll expect that, sir, 955.
Pablo 6706, you can expect vectors for...
Tracy traffic, Cessna 1191 Mike is final 26 Tracy.
Just back on the final.
Understood, South 676. You want us to pull back the speed a little bit, or we good at 250?
250 is fine. Spirit wing 695, contact approach 125.35, good day.
2535, good day, Spirit 695.
Spit it. All right, a few little more flaps there. 30 degrees is all we're going to get because of the headwind. All we're going to give it.
Tracy traffic, Cessna 1191 Mike is short final 26, full stop Tracy.
Everything's good. Fuel selectors on both. Good sync rate. Good speed.
Approach Bonanza 1123 Victor, checking on out of 8006 for Livermore, and I have Juliet.
506 Mike Victor, NorCal approach, stock Nelson, receive 981. And November 1123 Victor, NorCal approach, stock Nelson, receive 981.
2981 1123 Victor.
Runway 755, flighting 300.
300, Spirit 955.
Pablo 6706, turn right heading 330, vectors 4 sequence to set maintain 7,000.
330 heading down to 7,000, south of 6706.
Cal King Air 506.
Well, that came a little bit sooner than I had anticipated. But the wind's near, not as bad on this runway as it was on 30. Carb heat in, pull the mixture back a little bit.
Join the localizer, Spirit 955. 2535, good day, Spirit 955.
Set to maintain 8,000, big stripe.
Tracy traffic, Cessna 1191 Mike is clear 26, taxi back.
15 and it's already dark. Seasons are a-changing, my friend. Cooking in a taxi. Getting pushed by the wind. And we'll turn the lights back. Tracy traffic, Cessna 1191 Mike is taking 26 for left closed traffic. Tracy.
Alright, at 260 heading, intercept the localizer from that heading southwest to 6706.
And I love these new LED landing and taxi lights, man. They are just like stupidly bright.
Approach 6631, 15-3, descending via the Enzo 3.
And we are on the roll.
2535 south of 6706.
Flaps are up, indicated. Whoa, and we got the wind.
Southwest 66.
And our hand on the throttle.
Enzo 3.
Southwest 6631, NorCal approach, roger, runway 30 transition, you can expect.
Tracy traffic, Cessna 1191 Mike's on the upwind, off at 26. Tracy traffic, and we are turning a left crosswind up at 26, Tracy.
Car 149, contact Charles approach 119.9, good day.
119.9, big stripe, for big stripe 159.
Tracy traffic, Cessna 1191 Mike's going into the downwind for left traffic, 30 Tracy.
Good evening, Southwest 4007, 265, standing via the Oaks with Juliet.
And we'll go ahead and get her slowed down.
30 transition and the Stockton altimeter 2981.
Okay, the 30 transition, Southwest 4000.
Carb heat. Fuel selector to both.
Mike Victor, contact Modesto Tower 125.3.
We are in the white arc, so we'll give it 10 degrees of flaps indicated. Trim. And we'll slow her down to 1500 RPM. Tracy traffic, Cessna 1191 Mike is left base for 26, Tracy full stop.
NorCal approach, southwest 3470 out of 133, descending via the 43.
Southwest 3470, NorCal approach, good evening, runway 30 transition, plane on the ILS or the visual, Oakland altimeter 2989er.
Alright, 2989, we're expecting ILS, southwest 3476.
Tracy traffic, Cessna 1191 Mike is final for 26, Tracy full stop. 10 degrees more of flaps.
Approach Cirrus 3 Charlie Kilo, beginning descent with the Zulu.
And we'll pull back the power.
And Regent 134 NorCal approach, expect the visual approach runway 29er right, Stockton altimeter 2981.
And we're high, so we are going to pull the power back and we'll
Yes, beginning.
let her go down.
2,200 3 Charlie Kilo.
3 Charlie Kilo, thank you.
Got about 20 degrees worth of flaps in.
34 level 14,000 information November.
Legion 134, NorCal approach. Good evening. Clear direct to Sims. Expect the visual approach runway 29 right and the Stockton altimeter 2981.
Okay, 2981. We are currently direct Sims, and we'll expect the visual 29 right. Thanks.
Legion 134, descend to maintain 4,000.
Descend to 4,000, Legion 134.
Oh, wasn't my best, but it worked. Flaps up.
253,000.
Up and indicated, carb heat in. Mixture back. Throttle kind of to idle. Put the transponder on standby. Tracy traffic, Cessna 1191 Mike is clear 26 and taxiing to South Hangars, Tracy traffic.
And that's a wrap.